Hello people, in this video we want to look at this topic foot drop. This is a topic in orthopedics that we are looking at. So this happens because of nerve injury. So foot drop means their leg will be like this. See, there will be paralysis of the dorsiflexors. These are the muscles. Because of injury to which nerve? Lateral popliteal nerve. So these 2 points you have to write. Which nerve is injured? Lateral popliteal nerve is injured. Which nerve is injured? Lateral popliteal nerve is injured. From where is this nerve coming? Lateral popliteal. This is nothing but common peroneal nerve, guys. It's nothing but common peroneal nerve. So in this common peroneal nerve injury, so there will be foot drop. So now let's get to understanding where the common peroneal nerve is coming from. So if this is your sciatic nerve that is getting formed from your L4, L5, S1, S2, S3, here you have the common peroneal nerve. Did you spot it? Here's your common peroneal nerve. Okay. So in sciatic nerve you have two components. You have the common peroneal nerve and the tibial component. Okay. So this common peroneal nerve is supplying what? All that we have to check. Okay, but generally which nerves, the group of muscles? Paralysis of dorsiflexors. So dorsiflexion will not happen. What is dorsiflexion? See this image here. See, this is dorsiflexion. So you will not be able to lift, right? So all the dorsiflexors are paralyzed. So how will the foot be? It will be in plantar flexion. Right? So here you can see it is there in, the foot remains in plantar flexion due to the weakness of the dorsiflexors. So this will happen in which nerve palsy? Common nerve, common peroneal nerve palsy. Okay. So in these people, how foot drop means? It will be like this. They'll have high stepping gait. See, they'll be walking like this. Their toes will be touching the ground before the heel. Okay, they'll be walking like this, exactly like this only it will be. They lift the leg high and the toes will touch, right, the ground before the heel. So normally how you walk, that gait is called as heel to toe gait. Okay, but in foot drop the gait will be high stepping gait. Okay, it's also called as toe to heel gait because the toes touches the ground before the heel. Okay, so the normally when you walk, right, you'll have a heel strike, but that will be lacking. Okay, it will be lacking. The heel strike will be lacking. See, they have written here. In this gait, the heel strike of stance phase of gait cycle is lacking. Heel strike won't be there. What will be there? They'll be striking the toes. The toes touch the ground before the heel. This is high stepping gait. Okay. So which are the muscles paralyzed? Those muscles which are paralyzed are nothing but the dorsiflexors. Which are the dorsiflexors? Tibialis anterior, external digitoris longus. See, that means anything that will have to lift the leg like this, right? So that will be a tibialis anterior, extensor digitorum longus, extensor hallucis longus. So for your toe, you can lift your toe, and then you can lift all your other 4 small toes. What do you call them? And then not just these muscles, so many other muscles are also dorsiflexors, the textbook says. So your peroneus longus, see, it is coming in front here. Peroneus brevis, peroneus tertius. So all these muscles are affected. Okay. So, which are the muscles which are paralyzed? The dorsiflexors, the tibialis anterior, extensor digitorum longus, extensor hallucis longus, peroneus longus brevis, peroneus tertius, and some extra one which we didn't mention in the photos, extensor digitorum brevis. See, extensor digitorum longus and extensor digitorum brevis. Okay, so these are the muscles which are affected in foot drop. How is it going, people? What are we looking at? Foot drop. Okay. Now just look at some causes why this nerve can get injured. Leprosy. Okay, it can happen. Posterior dislocation of hip. So if the hip is dislocated posteriorly, what will get affected? Sciatic nerve, obviously. So we told you about the gait. So high stepping gait. Now let us look at the corrective procedure. The corrective procedure is tibialis posterior tendon to third cuneiform or third metatarsal brought through circumtibial interosseous root to the dorsum of the foot. If you can remember, tibialis anterior tendon they are transferring. So here they are assessing the power of the tibialis posterior tendon. Okay, both against gravity and resistance. So how to check? Also they have written here. So basically the tibialis posterior tendon they are transferring. to the third cuneiform, third metatarsal. That's what they are saying looks like. So let us look at this. Tendon transfer for foot drop. So you have two procedures here. You have the Ober's procedure and the Barr's procedure. Ober's procedure. So now the names, guys, very specifically they are telling you the procedure. Ober's procedure is a solution to foot drop. So here tibialis posterior is transferred and inserted to the base of the third metatarsal, third cuneiform. We already told you this. Then Barr's procedure. Tibialis posterior is transferred and inserted to the third cuneiform through the interosseous membrane, interosseous route. This one is subcutaneous tunnel, circumtibial route. Okay, so this is circumtibial route and this one is interosseous route. Okay, so Ober and Barr. This sounds like Uber. Ola plus Uber has become Ober. What is Barr? Book an Ola or Uber and go to the Barr. That is tendon transfer for foot drop. Okay. Tendon transfers for foot drop are non-phasic transfers and need accurate post-operative management for phasic conversion. Okay, so you have to manage it carefully. You need accurate post-operative management. Okay. This is required. You should do this. So, Ober and Barr procedure. Patient with foot drop will also require orthosis. See, this kind of orthosis, it will not allow the foot to drop. It's kind of pulling it up, right? Physiotherapy also you will have to give. So, these muscles and all which are paralyzed can become better, looks like. Okay. So, what are the splints that you use? Splints that you use is foot drop splint. Okay. Foot drop. There's a foot drop splint that you can use. Then what is this? Toe raising splint. So, toe raising splint, foot drop splint. So, you want to raise the toes. Is this an orthosis or a splint? See, orthosis is something that supports a weak part of your body. Okay, but splint is something that you use to, to hold it in that place, immobilizing. Okay, something that possibly can stay in its place, you want to immobilize. That is a splint. Okay, so we are done with the foot drop, guys. Now let's take a recap. In this video, we wanted to look at this terminology foot drop. Basically, it is happening because of nerve injury. The foot has dropped, you can see here. So basically, this happens because of common peroneal nerve injury. And that is also called as lateral popliteal nerve, same thing. So what is happening? There is paralysis of dorsiflexors. So here is the common peroneal nerve coming from the sciatic, right? So sciatic nerve has two components, common peroneal and tibial. So the common peroneal is affected. Okay, so the foot will be in plantar flexion. You cannot lift your toes basically, right? So the person will have a high stepping gait. So very important, high stepping gait. This is called as toe to heel gait. Normally you should have heel to toe. Okay, hitch is good. Heel to toe. Okay, heel to toe gait you should have. But the person will have toe to heel. He will lift his leg high. Okay, and what they will do to avoid injury, the patient lifts the leg up and brings it down. That's why at high stepping, the toes touch the ground before the heel. Okay, so the muscles which are paralyzed are tibialis anterior, external digitorum longus, external hallucis longus, peroneus longus, peroneus brevis, peroneus tertius, extensor digitorum brevis. Okay, those are the dorsiflexors. This can happen because of leprosy or it can happen because of posterior dislocation of hip. Then there are a lot of types of gait. In that, one of them is foot drop gait or high stepping gait. Now, how will you treat? Treatment is tibialis posterior tendon. They are going to transfer it to the third cuneiform or third metatarsal, either through the circumtibial or the interosseous route, based on which the names have been given. So this is the tibialis posterior. They are checking for the power against gravity, against resistance. They are checking. Then they will do this Ola plus Uber procedure. See, you book an Ola and Uber and go to the Barr. So Ober procedure where tibialis posterior is transferred to the third metatarsal or third cuneiform. This is some circumtibial route. And then you have the Barr's procedure, which is interosseous route. Okay, so Barr is via the bone, BB, Introsseous, okay. Introsseous sounds like atrocious, right? Anyways. Then for this, after all this tendon transfer, you should do accurate post-operative management. Then you can also give some orthosis. That is, orthosis will hold it up, support for some weak structure. Then physiotherapy also you can advise for the person. There are some splints like a foot drop splint, toe raising splint, etc. that can also be tried. So that's it for now, guys, in this video on foot drop. Bye bye.